let's kick it off with the NFL and Jordan Love and Rob G. Jordan Love is not playing around. Like, the NFL, and I get it, a lot of players holding out is a tough deal because the teams have so much power and they hold your rights. Even if you hold out, you don't lose a year, you know what I mean? They still have your rights. So it's a bad CBA, a bad agreement, by the players to accept it. So it's not like if I hold out a year, I'm going to be free and I can go somewhere else. You can't do that. You don't gain anything. All you do is sit out, lose money, and they still have your rights. So it's a really tough spot to be in. But Rob G, he's not playing.
No, he's not. And coming into this season, Jordan Love is set to make $11 million for the 2024-2025 NFL season. And given the way that he closed the season out last year, there was a lot of speculation coming into this summer that he was looking for a new contract. It has been widely reported that the both sides were looking to make something happen. And then as recently as about a month and a half ago, ESPN reported that it was not only possible, but looking likely that Jordan Love would hold out from training camp and preseason games if he did not get a new contract extension. Well, today, Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst confirmed that report, telling reporters that Jordan Love and his agents told the team on Saturday that he would not be participating in any training camp practice, would not be playing in any preseason games until he gets a new deal. This is interesting because Jordan Love did report to camp on time, took part in meetings and all kinds of other activities, but he will not physically be at practice. And previously, this shows, he got money on his mind at all times. Jordan Love took part in the entire Packers offseason program, including mandatory minicamp, in order to receive his $500,000 workout bonus. So you can tell Rob Parker, Martin Weiss, that Jordan Love is about his paper.
And you know what? I'm serious. I love it from this standpoint. And you could talk about nitpick and talk about the first half of last year wasn't that great, and then he played well the last 6, 7, 8 games, whatever it was. And, okay, played great in that playoff game where Dallas had won 16 straight home games or whatever the number was, and he blew them away. And here's why I'm on Jordan Love's side. He didn't just show up out of nowhere. He's been with them for 4 years. He was drafted in 2020. And here he is replacing a Hall of Fame quarterback. His first year, they get a playoff win. They look pretty darn good doing it as well. And, Martin, they came on at the second half of the season. They know his work habits. They know his work ethic. They've watched him in practice. In the NFL, what do, Martin? You practice more than you play, right?
Sure, especially as a backup quarterback.
Right? So you get to see him, right? Okay, we like him, we don't like him, whatever. And then the guy performs. Do you want to go out there without a contract and have something bad happen to you? I know it happened. The Dak Prescott went out and played without a contract, right? And then he wound up getting hurt, and it worked out for him. Somehow he still got a deal and got a big deal, right? Because the Cowboys had dragged their feet on him, and they wound up paying him. But that could have been, a lot of people were saying that Dak was crazy to even be out there because of the idea that you could get hurt.
Well, and not only that, I think the injury that Dak had actually helped because it was a clean, broken bone. Had that been a knee surgery that he needed to do, you know what I'm saying? It's something that you recover from and you don't lose a step, really,
right.
if you're able to come back.
He got fortunate, right?
Yeah.
But I'm saying in the Jordan Love thing, the jury should be out. I mean, why is the jury? Why is it a hung jury if you're in Green Bay? You watched this guy, Martin, for 4 years. If you're not buying him, and it was like Kirk Cousins in D.C., right? When they were like, no, we're not signing him. They made it clear. They
tagged him out.
They were like, we're not signing him, and they didn't care, whatever. And he wound up going to Minnesota and getting a fully guaranteed contract. But they made their point that they weren't signing him, right?
Yep.
And if you're the Packers, you can't play that game here. He replaced a legendary quarterback. They didn't miss a step. They actually made the playoffs the year before Aaron Rodgers last year. They didn't even make the playoffs, right? Mm-hmm. And you should be looking at this as you could be a franchise, Martin Weiss, that has 3 quarterbacks that span 40 years, right? Like you have a
It's like the Steelers with their coaches.
Right. Like how many teams could have 3 quarterbacks over a 40-year stretch? You know how many teams have had 20 quarterbacks? The Cleveland Browns, right, had a ton of quarterbacks for a long time. They couldn't get it right.
They still might not have, considering Deshaun Watson. The thing with Jordan Love, I think this is less about Jordan Love and what he did last season, good or bad for that matter, and more just what these numbers are. Like $50 million is so much money of your salary cap that I think we're starting to see the other shoe drop. Guys like Tua, guys like Jordan Love, guys like Brock Purdy. I think you're starting to see the other shoe drop when it comes to this, because $50 million is such a big number that if you make a mistake paying that out, you're done, buddy. You're cooked. It's over with. I agree with you in that they've seen Jordan Love for the last 4 years, but my thing is this. How good was Jordan Love when they were looking at him? Because if you had a quarterback on a rookie contract and an aging yet still playing at a very high level quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, you could have made that trade. Not just let him walk off in Lambeau and have his moment with Randall Cobb. If you had a guy that was ready to go as a backup, that's a rookie or a second-year player, first-year player, guy on that same rookie contract, then the Packers mismanaged this a ton if he was ready to go 2 years ago.
I agree with that because they did not think he was there. Otherwise, I'm with you. You pull the trigger. But holding on to him and then having this guy have a breakout second half of the season and win a playoff game in that fashion, now what? I mean, what else could he have to do, Martin, to make you feel good about him moving forward? I mean, I think that he answered it. It would be different if you looked at him and he played well in the beginning and struggled in the second half, right?
Sure, we have a fully different conversation.
Totally different conversation compared to finishing strong and making you buy into it. That's how we remember the last stuff that we see.
I say this, though. I bet if Jordan Love had come out in his first full year starting and had a year like C.J. Stroud did, there'd be no conversation. There'd be no conversation. Sign me up, $53 million right there on the dotted line. But he didn't. He still had that first half of the season. I know that we remember the thing that we just saw, but if I'm signing off a $50 million average annual value type contract for the next 5 years, I'm going to remember all of it.
Yeah, but here's the problem. This is the system that the ownership has agreed to, and this is the thing that the players have signed to. So now there's no way you can't turn away. The quarterback is the most important position on these teams. Martin, if you don't have a quarterback, you're out. You're basically out of winning anything. And that's why people are so hell-bent on you got to have a quarterback, and that's why the value for the quarterback is so high. Is it fair to other positions and other players who should be getting some money and whatnot? I get all that. But not in this game where we are now, where they bank on the quarterback and they throw the ball more than ever and all the other stuff that goes on with it. It has changed the importance of the quarterback. And I don't know how you navigate and worry about, we don't want to pay him this and that. That's the going rate. And unless you have an alternative, if you got an alternative, then make it happen. Other than that, and I give Jordan Love credit. Do not, N-O-T, go out there. Don't do it.
Well,
he's getting the right advice. You know what? He has leverage over the Packers. They don't have an answer on who would be the quarterback. They will have to come to the table and will have to pay him. You don't want to start this off with you throwing away a season that you could build off of what happened last year.
Where I think Jordan Love is doing the right thing is he's doing everything but going on the field. He's still attending meetings. I saw it reported on TV earlier today as a hold in, not a hold out. I think if he was completely out of the facility and doing that type of stuff, then I'd be.
He's still not playing though.
No, but he's there. He's in the meetings. He's
not playing.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is he's doing everything but that. And to me, that's the right thing to do.
That's how you gel with your teammates.
But that's why I'm saying it's the right thing to do that if you're Jordan Love.
But to me, if you're not playing, not practicing, not making those throws, not building a rapport with your teammates, that is the part that you're hurt. You can sit in all the meetings you want. You know you got to get out on the practice field and play. That's all I'm saying is it's not good for them. And to have him around and eat with them and he's in the weight room or whatever, that you know, I get what he's trying to do and trying to make it softer on the Packers, but if I'm the Packers, if he's going to be around, it's either going to participate or you're not.
So what number?
I'm telling you that you don't come in here.
What number do you think they land on to feel good for everybody to feel good, both the Packers side and Jordan Love side? I'm
not sure. I mean, you got a number in your head. I mean, I know what the going rate is.
Yeah, I think if you can get him for $50 million, $48 million in that range, 48 to 51, I think you got to just take it because of the way you've handled the situation up to prior. If Jordan Love is asking for $60 million, then I might have to go elsewhere.
But we talked about this before. They should have signed him before last season.
Yes. They should have offered him a deal that was reasonable then.
Because, see, that's where I think they made their mistake. And what teams do is, well, we don't know. We're not sure on Jordan Love, right? So we're not going to offer him a contract. But then if he plays well, Martin, like he did, it only ups the price.
Like do
you see what I'm saying?
You tell me if before at the end of last season, the end of 2 seasons ago, when Rodgers is walking off with Randall Cobb out of Lambeau Field, if you offered Jordan Love a $40 million average annual value contract, right?
Probably could have been cheaper than that.
That's like the Daniel Jones number.
Right.
You could have got him at that. You could have got him with the Giants playing Daniel Jones.
No doubt, and that's on the Packers. And I'm just saying, like, you have to stand up for yourself to get paid. You got to be real careful in this situation. He knows how important quarterbacks are. Whoever's talking to him, they're doing the right thing. They're telling him he has leverage. It's not all the time that you have leverage, Martin. He has leverage.
He absolutely does in this scenario. And as an NFL player, Jordan Love, he may never experience it again.
It might be
take advantage of it.
100%.